Dr. Dawn Harper, GP, TV presenter and author. You are known and loved from Channel 4's hit series Embarrassing Bodies. And as a working NHS GP, can I just say the hugest thank you to you and all your colleagues for the phenomenal work that you're doing. What's been the impact on your own particular practice, Dawn?
Oh gosh, Julie, our surgery life is unrecognisable in a very, very short period of time. So I think one message I'd really like to get out there is that our surgery door has been locked now for several weeks, but that doesn't mean to say the surgery is closed. And I think we did a very good job nationally within the media of making sure that people with coronavirus symptoms weren't coming into surgery and therefore risking spreading it further. But one of the things that we've been very mindful of is that we have seen less of people with other conditions.
Right.
The messaging is starting to change. So our surgery door is closed, but we're not. So most of my work is being done on the telephone. As you can imagine, there's an awful lot of health anxiety, loneliness. So mental health issues we're really seeing them rise. We've got a gazebo in our car park. So we are doing child immunisations in the car park. We're doing blood tests in the car park.
Wow.
Most of my patients I just speak to on the telephone, but if we do need to see people, we're all dressed up in our aprons and masks and what have you. And wherever possible, we see people outside because we know the virus transmits less well outside. But it's very different, and I think there will be some good things come out of this. We've been reviewing how we follow people up with long-term conditions, and many of those going forward we might be able to do more by telephone or by Skype call like this rather than face to face, and of course that will free up extra time. So we've got some hideous times to go through, and my heart goes out to all those people who have lost loved ones and not been able to be with them. I think we're going to really be picking up the pieces of mental health as a result of that. But I hope that when we come out the other side of this, which we will, but when we come out the other side, that perhaps we pick up on some of the positive learning things, and that we might, for example, make NHS general practice more efficient, and more accessible. Most people, would probably rather, if they can, speak from home or the office on a phone than have to sit and wait in a waiting room. So it's very, very different. Very different.
Yes, and as you say, Skype or Zoom, which we're actually on, may become more a part of life for doctors, and that may not be a bad thing as well if it's something that's not really serious and doesn't need face-to-face,
Well, and actually I think, what we have with Zoom over and above a telephone call is that medically we take an awful lot from all the non-verbal cues. So if somebody says they're in agony but they're smiling and they've got a full face of makeup and so on, that's very different to somebody who is beaded with sweat and looking pale and dreadfully ill, and you pick up those without even thinking about it.
Of course.
So I think I can see that we will do an awful lot with Skype, Zoom, whatever it may be, video call going forward.
Great. Now, in your professional life, Dawn, you are used to dispensing expert advice. What would you say is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
I think it was probably from my maternal grandmother. I only really remember her being in a wheelchair. She was crippled with rheumatoid arthritis, and she died in my teens. She was very Welsh, very, very Valleys Welsh, and an incredibly kind lady. And I remember she used to sit her hands were utterly riddled with arthritis, and she would spend hours peeling potatoes in her wheelchair for my mom and just doing really kind things. And I remember so clearly her saying to me, she came to live with us after she had a stroke, and I used to sit on her bed chatting to her, and she said, just remember this, my girl. And she was very Welsh. She didn't remember this, my girl. She said, you treat other people the way you want to be treated yourself. And it's kind of stuck with me. I just think it's a lovely way to lead your life, and I kind of passed it on to my kids in a different format because they communicate so much through a screen.
Yes.
I always used to say, do you know, before you press send, just think, would I say this to Julie face to face, or would I mind if Julie overheard me saying this? And if there's any doubt in your mind, press delete, not send, and you won't forget, you won't regret it.
That's
So
brilliant. Brilliant, Dawn. You're absolutely
especially in
right.
these times, we could all do with a bit more kindness.
Yes, yeah, kindness. It is the best quality of all, isn't it? Thank you. That is a great pearl. Thank you, Dawn's
I've
granny.
got another one from my
Oh,
mum,
yeah.
which is a bit. So before we came on air, you and I were having a chat about how I've gone a little bit feral. I'm here in my khaki clothes, and one of the things that my mother said to me when I was probably in my teens, I think, and she said, "Darling, you can tell a smartly dressed lady by her shoes." And it's so true. So often you've got sort of, you know, skagged heels, or
Yes.
you know, you haven't resoled them, or they're looking a little bit shoddy, and it's always stuck with me. And I love my shoes. I've always, you know, I've spent my life in high heels, mainly on embarrassing bodies because I had to, because Pixie and Christian are so flipping tall. I look like some kind of reject because I was so short next to them. But you know, it made me think that I'm living in sloppy joes all the time.
Yes.
I've only just dealt with what my kids call my badger look, because I've just let my hair go natural and it's not attractive. And it just made me laugh because I thought I haven't worn heels in weeks.
Oh God! Listen, I don't think you look like a badger. Take a look at that. I read stories to my
negatives of each other.
Yeah, exactly. I read stories to my granddaughter Saga, who's nearly 4, and I post them off on WeTransfer to her and things, or WhatsApps. And after the last one, she said to my daughter Kate, she said, "Mummy, why has Granny Peas got a black head?"
Don't you love kids?
Don't you love them? But no, I've been a bit feral as well. Well, you know, the only time I actually put some slap on, wash my hair and get, you know, I'm wearing a dress today in your honour, is when I'm doing these Zoom calls, which is, you know, very good. But other than that, I do go walking and biking, but I'm like you, I'm in my tracky bees and just hair scraped back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even get dressed up to go to surgery because, of course, we're in scrubs these days. So when I did actually put some jeans on the other day, I just said to my other half, I said, "Oh my God," I said, "it's all shrunk in the wardrobe." So,
Excellent.
I need to put myself back together before lockdown is restricted, I think.
Exactly. Oh, listen, Dawn, thank you so much. It's been lovely chatting to you. I'm really, really grateful. And they are 2 excellent pearls of wisdom as well. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye, darling. Bye.